This freaking restream messed me up. Oh, we should be good now. Let's run that intro again, baby. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets. Yes, sirski, we are here. What's good? Cut my light on. All right, cut my light on. So today, man, we're here to talk about some. I've been seeing a lot of people are mad, bro. Why are people so mad, man? They mad about. I'm gonna tell you why they mad. They mad about. First of all, we got the Jake Paul thing and the Mike Tyson thing, which I understand the frustration with that. If you're a real boxing fan, I don't mind it because I always tell people the same thing, man. I don't mind Jake Paul and Mike Tyson because I don't mind exhibitions, bro. But the only part that bothers me is that the lines are getting blurred. It's hard to tell between what's an exhibition, what's a real fight. You know what I'm saying? What's for play, what's for real. And the fact that they don't even know if it's gonna be a real fight yet or exhibition. That's the part that kind of it's like, yo, what are we doing, man? What you mean you don't know? That should be the first detail that should be ironed out. It should be no question, definitively. Should be for certain that it's an exhibition, which I think it still will be an exhibition eventually. But the fact that they're thinking about it is scary. That's number one. But a lot of people are so I don't mind it, but I don't like when the line starts getting blurry, and we don't know what's what. How you trying to confuse the people, man? I ain't never been no sucker, so that's definitely should not even be close to a real fight. That shit like that joke is absurd, bro. That is absurd, man. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. But we just hit 700 subscribers. We just started, man. We just started when? Not even 3 months yet. We started at the end of December. Yeah, so it's about at the end of this month. Yeah, the end of this month will be 3 months, man. So we out here, man. So we just trying to get right. I appreciate the love. First gotta thank God for that. God is good. Without God, I'm nothing. So we've been moving on up. We've been moving on up to the east side. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah. So like, now what everybody's mad about now is Chris Eubanks and Terence Crawford. The only thing I don't know is what the heck's gonna happen with Bomac right there. Like Bomac's been training both of them. So who he gonna pick? who he gonna train? That's what the part I don't understand is which one he gonna coach? He gonna coach Bud? I mean, obviously he gonna coach Bud. But like, what's Eubanks gonna do? I think that looks kind of funny. The optics on that look bad. How you gonna fight somebody that's in your gym? But it is what it is. Am I mad at this fight? No, I'm not mad at this fight at all. I think people are mad at it at the surface because everybody gets upset when somebody doesn't do what they want them to do. Of course, I want Crawford to fight Bud. Bud is Crawford. Of course, I want Bud to fight Boots. You know what I'm saying? I want Bud to fight Boots just like everybody else. However, do I think it's some legacy hurting fight? I don't know. I don't think it hurts his legacy at all because look how many people he's fought. Who has Boots fought? Boot hasn't fought anybody, man. It just is what it is. We're going off of how good and how spectacular he looks against opponents that aren't really known like that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of mediocre. He hasn't fought any high caliber fighters yet. So, I think Boots is just trying to chase Bud because he knows that'll springboard his career. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with challenging the man. But there's nothing wrong with also the man saying that, hey, man, I want to be compensated appropriately or to what I deserve. And there's nothing wrong with Terence Crawford saying that. Terence Crawford, like I said, I keep saying this, Terence Crawford, he's 36 years old.
Damn!
You know what I'm saying? And you could talk all that trash you want to, but that's coming at the end of his career, and he said he wants to fight big money fights. That's what he wants. That's okay. That's what Floyd did. It's just funny that Floyd told him to go fight Bud and go fight David Benavidez, but at the end of Terence Crawford, Floyd, and I think Floyd's the GOAT, number one. I think Floyd's the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have their own opinion. In my opinion, Floyd is the greatest of all time, not just from his ability in the ring, but also his business acumen as well. You know what I'm saying? He's just as good of a businessman as he is a superb athlete. And, he controlled his own destiny. I always respect that. But I call it what it is. The hypocrisy is there. He's telling him to go give a young Boots a chance when Bud is already and effectively and adamantly and articulated that he wants big money fights and he deserves that at this point of his career. So that's why he doesn't want to fight Boots. He said, hey man, Boots don't bring no money to the table. It's not that he's scared of him. I think Bud beats Boots, but I would like to see it from a competitive standpoint. At the same time, Floyd saying that, Floyd can say that, and I think he's right. I would like to see Bud versus Boots. However, Floyd is wrong from a hypocritical standpoint. You know what I'm saying? That's a pot calling the kettle black. You know what I'm saying? You're not practicing what you preach, because at this point of Terence Crawford's career, in Floyd's career, you know what I'm saying? If you look at the big comparison right there, Floyd should have fought Errol Spence or Keith Thurman or Sean Porter, especially with I don't know about Sean Porter, but I know Keith Thurman and Errol Spence were on the same PBC as he was, so that would have been an easy fight debate. Instead, he fought Conor McGregor and Andre Berto, and I don't knock that either, because I don't like the Conor McGregor fight. I think that should have counted as an exhibition, number one, but I don't mind it. You know, it's a big money fight. You know, probably more money than Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, and Sean Porter at the time, and also Andre Berto. Even though Andre Berto was on the tail end of his career, you know, he probably threw Andre Berto, hey man, you know what I'm saying, let them get some money, probably showing them some love from that standpoint, you know, so I respect that. And then also too, no one expected Andre Berto to beat Floyd. You know, that was a minimal risk. So, you know, he wasn't peak Andre Berto, which is not Floyd's fault. But you know, we know Andre Berto wasn't the best Andre Berto, and even the best Andre Berto doesn't beat Floyd anyway. But you know what I'm saying. So I'm just, he could have fought Errol Spence by Floyd Mayweather's own judgment or advice that he's given to Terence Crawford. That he would have, if he took his own advice, he would have fought Errol Spence. He would have fought Terence Crawford. He would have fought Keith Thurman. He would have fought Sean Porter, and he didn't. So you know what I'm saying. So that's a little bit of hypocrisy right there. You know what I'm saying. A little bit of being hypocritical. But he's right though. I would like to see him fight Bud. I mean, I would like to see Bud fight Boots, but he don't need to do it. You know what I'm saying? He don't need to do it. Y'all still fighting over there? He said I need to fight more Jews. Yeah, I need to get more practice with y'all too, man, when I can. I'm trying to get right on that Tekken. But yeah, man. So I just think that, you know, a lot of people are mad at Bud saying, oh, if he wants a money fight, why is he want Chris Eubanks not a money fight? I guarantee you, Chris Eubanks, as much as it's not a money fight, it's not a big money fight, it's not Canelo, it's still more money than Boots. I promise you that. Chris Eubanks is the son of a Hall of Fame fighter. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like Conor Ben's father is Nigel Ben. You know, Chris Eubanks Jr. His father is a good fighter too. You know what I'm saying? So he's known from there, and then plus he's from England. Boxing is bigger in England, so I guarantee you that's a bigger fight. Number one, and number two, this is the most important point. You could be mad at this fight if you want, but Chris Eubanks is at 160. They'll fight at 160. So Bud fighting Boots is a test to see if he could strengthen his bid to go get Canelo. Duh. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's fighting Chris Eubanks or him and Chris Eubanks are 147. No, he's moving up 2 weight classes, you know what I'm saying, to go try to, if he does well here, then that'll give him an even more serious chance to get Canelo, which I don't think he has to prove himself to get Canelo. But Canelo said, what did he say? He said him beating Terence Crawford means nothing because he's bigger than Terence Crawford. People would just say Terence Crawford's too small. If Terence Crawford goes and beat Chris Eubanks Jr. at 160, then Canelo can no longer have that excuse because he just fought Jermell Charlo at 154. Well, it was a catchweight, right? So I think he fought Jermell Charlo at 158. So he would no longer be able to have that excuse. So why aren't you fighting? You know what I'm saying? So he gonna put pressure on Canelo now. You know what I'm saying? And they can fight at 160 or 164 or some catch weight or something like that. And I that'll make his bid a little stronger, his campaign a little stronger. So it makes sense for him to do that. You know, people just think he always fighting Chris Eubanks like he's scared. Like, bro, come on, bro. Y'all gotta stop saying these people are scared, bro. Ain't no way Terence Crawford. Ain't no way you think Terence Crawford's scared of Boots. Ain't no way. You know, people just be mad at. I think he fought Jermell Charlo at like, I know it was a catch. I know it wasn't 168, but Jermell Charlo's like a 154 pounder. I don't remember what weight they fought Jermell. What weight did he fight Jermell Charlo at? It wasn't one. It was higher than 160, but it wasn't 168. I think it was between middleweight and super middleweight, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been towards the high end, too, closer to super middleweight, but I don't think it was 168. If I remember right, it was a catchweight, but I don't remember exactly what it was. I want to say it was like 165 or something like that. But anyway, this was straight to his bid if he could go and beat Chris Eubanks. So as far as the money thing, he's being consistent. You know, as far as, you know, I'm not saying that I care about. I'm not in their pockets, or I'm just going off of what they say. You know what I'm saying? We got to respect. I mean, you ain't got to respect it, but, you know, I watch boxing. I listen to boxers where they say, you know, he articulated, hey, man, I'm not fighting Boots for the money, and that's just is what it is. For you to imply that somebody's scared or something like that, then, I mean, That's just you sound like a selfish child. You know what I'm saying? But Boots wouldn't be the strongest person or the biggest threat on his resume. So why would he be scared? So the same with Canelo. I want Canelo to fight Benavidez, but I hate when people say that Bud not fighting Boots is the same as Canelo not fighting Benavidez. No, Canelo not fighting Benavidez is way worse than Crawford not fighting Boots, because Benavidez earned and deserves a shot for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? You can name 5 or 6, the last 4 or 5 people that Benavidez fought. You can name 6 people, 7 people that Benavidez fought. You can't do that for Bud. As much as I watch for Boots. As much as I watch boxing, I would struggle to name 4 people that Boots has fought. You know what I'm saying? So Canelo ducking Benavidez is way worse than I don't think he's ducking him. But Canelo not fighting Benavidez is way worse than Crawford not fighting Boots. You know what I'm saying? I think they should both fight them respectively, but if it don't happen, then it is what it is. I think Canelo should fight Benavidez because Benavidez deserves it. He was a mandatory. He has other good fighters on his resume. We know how he does against caliber opponents. They have some common opponents. Terence Crawford and Boots only have Thomas Delorme, I think, as a common opponent. And Crawford fought him 6 years ago, or however many years ago it was. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this whole thing about like Boots is not the strongest person, is not the best person that Bud will ever fight. I think Bud beats him. I think if they do end up fighting, I think Bud's going to show that. I'll be Boots is very good, but I think Bud is going to will stop Boots, in my opinion. That's just my opinion on that. But I do think it's a good fight, and I would like to see it, but I don't think Bud is ducking Boots. Like, stop it. And whenever I see that joint, man, whenever somebody says he's ducking Boots, I just want to say, man, shut up, bitch. That doesn't even make sense. It's like, I don't think Canelo's ducking Benavidez either, but I think that one makes more sense. I think it makes more sense for somebody to say Canelo's ducking Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? If you want to say that, I don't think so. But it's hard to defend that. You know what I'm saying? I like Canelo once again. I think Canelo doesn't fight anybody else. His legacy's already cemented. But like I said, people like Andre Ward, they make a compelling argument, for Canelo. And I do think that he lost to Erislandy Lara. I think he should have one more L on his career, on his record. If you want to say that he fought these other people at convenient times, maybe, but I don't know. I think Canelo's great, man. I think, but I do, like I said, I do think he needs to fight Benavidez for sure. And I think that Canelo beats Benavidez too. But I wouldn't bet on that one. I think that's like a 50-50 joint. You know what I'm saying? Be honest. I think him and David Benavidez is a 50-50, but we shall see, man. We shall see. I think the fight happens. Of course, he's gonna fight Munguia, right? He's gonna fight Munguia, bro. What has me really scared? And I know some people say I'm crazy, but what has me really worried is that Jake Paul and Canelo will end up fighting, bro. Because Jake Paul been called out Canelo, and Canelo is not. Canelo, the way he moving, bro, I ain't gonna lie, he moving a little shaky right now. I'll be honest, like I said, I like Canelo a lot, but I gotta keep it funky. He moving a little shaky. I would not be surprised if we see if Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson, and he could finally say, "Well, I got a real boxer on my resume." Even though Mike Tyson, yes, he's a legend, yes, he's a Hall of Famer, but he's 57 years old. He's gonna be 58 by the time they fight because his birthday's in June and they fight in July 20th. So he'll be 58, man, damn near geriatric, a senior citizen, bro. But he's still gonna say Iron Mike Tyson on Jake Paul's resume. And then if he beats him, well, I think he will beat him, just because of his youth, not because he's better than him. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the better boxer to win. But when you 30 years somebody's junior, you know what I'm saying? Then youth is on your side, and youth plays a big deal when it's 30 freaking years age difference. You know what I'm saying? So I think Jake Paul does win, and I think he's gonna call out Canelo. And when Canelo beats Munguia, which I think that's a good fight too. I'm excited for the Canelo and Munguia fight. Now it's not as good as Benavidez, but Munguia's gonna fight, man. And Munguia, if you don't think if he's not gonna do anything else, boy, he gonna fight. That man blocks with his face, so that's gonna be action packed as long as it lasts. And so I like that fight. It's not the best, no, but I still like that fight. But what I think Canelo's gonna win for sure. And when Canelo beats Munguia, good Lord willing, then I think Jake Paul's if Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson, then you're gonna call Canelo. That shit might happen, man. And the other thing about that is like, because it's gonna set up like, oh, who would you rather see if Canelo fight, Jake Paul or Berlanga? And if he fights Berlanga, they'd be like, oh, at least he ain't fighting Jake Paul. So you know what I'm saying? So it kind of gives him an out. So it's like, oh, well, at least he don't fight this. It don't matter if he fights Berlanga or Jake Paul. He beats both of them. That joke is crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie. Canelo, that's why I said the blurred lines. That's what bothers me about like the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul stuff. It's just like, you know, it's blurring the lines between real professional fights and just like entertainment, social media stars against each other, you know, exhibitions. So we'll see how that goes, though, man. But yeah, I'm more upset about those fights than I am about Eubanks versus Bud. You know, Bud is moving up. Since when is that easy to move up? He's moving up 2 weight divisions. You know, unless they go out of catch weight, they might go at 155. I mean, we'll go from one. I don't think they're gonna go at 154. I think they said 160. That's what I've been hearing. Or maybe they go at 158, some type of catch weight or something like that. But it's still gonna be well over what Bud is used to or accustomed to or has been before. So I don't have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that strengthens his bid to get Canelo. You know, that's what people do. You know, when Canelo moved up and fought Kovalev, you know, at light heavyweight the first time, Kovalev was on the decline. You know, it's a test. The same with Roy Jones. He fought John Ruiz, and John Ruiz was good, but he still wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't Lennox Lewis. You know, so you gotta be careful when you're making such extreme jumps. You know. And that's what Terence Crawford is doing, you know. That's what he's doing. So I don't think it's a bad move. I think it's actually pretty good. And hopefully we do like if Canelo does beat Munguia and Crawford does beat Eubanks, hopefully after that, instead of getting Canelo and Jake Paul or Berlanga and Jake Paul, we get Terence Crawford and Canelo. That'd be fire. Or even, you know, Jamal Charlo, Big Charlo and Canelo. I'm still excited to see that fight as well. I know a lot of people write them off, but people just, I don't know what people think, man. I really think people are dumb, man. They're really slow. Like I see people say, oh well, you saw how Jermell Charlo fought Canelo. We don't want to see that again. What? I'm like, what do you mean you want to see it again? Jermell Charlo and Jamal Charlo are siblings. They're not the same person. They're twins, but they're not the same person. I'm like, bro, every time I see that, I want to tell them. I really want to ask them. Like, I wish some of them would come to the boxing channel so we could debate. That's why I put debate. Anybody wants to join the Discord, we could talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Keep it civil and talk about it. But it's just like, what? Yeah, just what? Every time I hear that, oh, we already see Jermell Charlo fight Canelo. Jamal Charlo would be the same.
What?
I don't get how do you come up to that. How do you come up with that? What boxing siblings fight the same? Does Rafael Marquez and Juan Manuel Marquez fight the same? No. Did Vladimir Klitschko and Vitaly Klitschko fight the same? No. Did once again I'm dropping bombs on your head, bro. Did Miguel Cotto and Jose Cotto fight the same? Once again, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what siblings? You know, maybe you could say Andrew Maloney, the Australian Andrew Maloney and Jason Maloney. Maybe they fight the same or similar. But it's like, first of all, Jamal Charlo's like, I think he's an inch or two inches taller than Jamal Charlo. They call him Big Charlo because he's bigger. So while he's a bigger puncher. So why does now your Inoue and Takuma Inoue fight the same? No. So it's like I don't understand. It's just like people are just very, very much casuals. Just because the masses, quantity does not make quality. So just because a lot of people say it and they say it loudly does not mean it makes sense. Jermell Charlo and Jamal Charlo fighting Canelo is not going to be the same thing because no other brothers have fought the same way. Yes, they might have similarities in their game, might have similar styles because they come out the same gym, same households, brought up the same. But there's like 4 or 5 Smith brothers: Colin Smith, Liam Smith, Steve Smith, all types of Smiths, right? You don't have to tell me their name, and I can just see them fight, and I'll be able to tell the difference. Who's who? Colin Smith doesn't fight exactly like Liam Smith. You see what I'm saying? So it's just people be talking crazy. Yo, my boy Lenny, what up? Hey, good show the other day too, man. I saw you talk about the bro. I was so crazy, man. When I hopped to your stream because I was streaming myself, and I saw that you said that Shanae passed away, man. Man, I was so sad, bro. And I wanted to ask, you know, like I said, I was streaming myself, and I was just like, man, bro, God bless her. My sincerest condolences to her and her family. I know she has kids too, and she was pregnant too, if I'm not mistaken. I remember I seen all her pictures on Instagram and stuff like that. Whenever I go post something, I be seeing it. You know, I don't really be on Instagram like that, but man, that just hurt my heart, man. It hurt my heart, bro. Oh man, God bless her family and, you know, her loved ones, and God bless her soul, man. I know she was strong with the faith. It seemed like, I don't know her. I'm gonna be honest too. In high school, I didn't really talk to her like that. I remember I didn't really care for her in high school. I'm gonna be honest. I remember it wasn't no beef or nothing like that, but I just didn't really care for her. And you know, I remember I was cool with Alicia, her and Alicia were real close. Remember that, but I didn't really care for her like that. But you know, that's high school stuff. You know, you grow up, you change, and I haven't interacted with her, and you still wish people the best. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was friends with her on Instagram and stuff like that, so it wasn't like no beef or nothing. I was just like, man, that just really hurt my heart, man. I saw that. I was like, dang, man. That's so sad, bro. Man, that just hurt, bro. I want to ask you, do you know how it happened? Like, do you know what happened? Because and if you don't want to talk about it, it's cool. But man, my sincerest condolences to her, man. Jeez, it's like, bro, so young, man. Like, God bless her, man. Heart really goes out to her family that's still here, you know, her kids and stuff, man. God bless her, man. Sincerest condolences, man. Jeez, you know, tomorrow's not promised. You gotta make the most out of the day and make sure you're doing something that makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you guys throw the air horn for one time for Shanae, man. God bless her, man. Yeah, my homeboy I was in school with in college, man. She did. I assumed that when you said it, I assumed that it was because of the baby and giving birth. I figured that, but I didn't know. Jeez, man. God bless her, man. Yeah, I was my homeboy. You know, he had three girls, and he passed away too. I went to college with him in the same dorms, man. The baby passed too. Jeez, peace, boy. Dang, boy. God bless her, man. Damn, man. That's sad, man. God bless her, man. And heart goes out to her. I don't know. I think it was her husband. I think she was married too. So heart goes out to him. And man, oh man, that's tough. I don't know how you tell that to your kids. That's something I don't ever want to imagine, even imagine going through. So, yep. A shout out to you for that tribute to her. I thought that was dope. But yeah, I lost my train of thought now. Oh yeah, so with the Chris Eubanks and stuff like that, man. I think with Terence Crawford, and I think that's a good fight. You know, it'll be a good test for him. And yeah, I don't think people should be that mad at this fight. And like I said, with Jamal Charlo, I wouldn't be mad at Canelo fighting Jamal Charlo. Of course, we're going to be upset because we want to see Canelo versus David Benavidez. So anything that's not David Benavidez, we're going to be like, oh, we're going to frown already, which I am too. But I don't think that Jamal Charlo and Jaime Munguia are bad oppositions for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. That's just my opinion. Yeah, that's too tough, bro. Man, I was saying send some prayers up for her and stuff like that, and for her loved ones, man. Jeez. Sometimes you wonder, like, you know, why certain things happen, you know, but you know, guys are playing, and she going home to a much better place, you know. It's like, it's funny, while we're here, we feel bad for the people that leave, but at the same time, we got to realize too, is like, you know, once they get up to everlasting life and a complete utopia with the Father, then it's them that feel bad for us still being down here in purgatory, you know what I'm saying? But it just doesn't help, you know. It still hurts it, you know, because they're taken away from you. So, and nothing could fill that void that they leave, especially when it's good people. That's a blessing of being. That's what's great about being a good person, man. You live on people's memories and people's hearts and stuff like that. And you know, some people live this life and leave this life with nobody mourning or missing them. You know, that's because of the life they live. So you got to live a good life. One time for Shanae too, and all the fallen soldiers too. But yeah, Lenny, that's sad though, man. That's sad though. That shit hurt my heart, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Just thinking about, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I ain't really interact with her much, you know. But just thinking about the ones that she touched, and you know what I'm saying. Have you talked about Tyson Paul? And let's talk about it right now, my brother. Let's talk about it right now. My brother want to talk about Tyson Paul. You could join the Discord if you want. Anybody could join, not just Lenny. Anybody could join that wants to join. Please check out my boys' podcast as well, called The Wrap Up. It's Mad Fi. I wish I had the link right now. I drop a link in that chat. Matter of fact, let's go get that. Let's go get that right now. You see, we just switched. You see how we just switched that up on them like that, all seamlessly. You saw that? You ain't even peep how I switched up the graphic right there. You ain't even peep. We got Logan Paul. I did talk about it. We gonna talk about it again. Let me go check out my boy Lenny real quick, man. But yeah, so we got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, man. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Like I said, I'm indifferent, man. We gonna bring it up again. I'm indifferent about it because number one, I ain't never been no hater, man. I salute people that doing their own thing. You know, I salute the content creators and all that stuff. If that's what they want to do, let them do it. You feel me? Hey, y'all go check out my boy Lenny right here, man. Y'all go check him out. Hit him up. It's called The Wrap Up Podcast. Every Sunday at 8 o'clock and every Sunday and Thursday at 8 o'clock, man. Funny and fun podcast, and informative too. But yeah, so Jake Paul. So like I said, my issue with the Mike Tyson Jake Paul is that I don't care that he's 57, gonna be 58 when they fight, because his birthday's in June. Him being Mike Tyson, his birthday's in June. The fight's in July. July 20th. So he'll be 58. He's 57 now. He'll be 58 by the time the fight happens. I don't care. I don't care that he's 58. I don't care if he's damn near senior citizen. I don't care that he's 30 years the guy senior.
Me blood
I don't care that he's 30
clot.
years Jake Paul senior. What I care, I don't care there's going to be whatever it happens. What I care, I don't care he's a Hall of Fame boxer. Get your money. I don't care if it's an exhibition. I care the fact that they don't know if it's an exhibition yet. That should be the first detail that you solidify. That should be the only thing that we know. Instead, we know the date is July 20th. We know who's fighting, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. We know where they're fighting, the locale, the location, the venue. It's Dallas Stadium in Texas. And we know the platform is going to be on Netflix. How do we not know if it's a actual professional sanctioned fight or exhibition yet? That's the part that is to be determined. Of course, common sense says, yeah, we think it's going to be an exhibition. I think it's going to be an exhibition. But the fact that they're still pondering that and contemplating that, that's what's scary. That's what I don't like. That's when you start blurring the lines between boxing and foolishness. I'm not going to say foolishness, but boxing and the content creator fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that does kind of water down the sport. Like, because at the end of the day, I don't like it because first of all, I told y'all I've never seen a Jake Paul fight. I refuse to watch it because I don't think it's boxing. He's boxing. He claims that he wants to be a boxer, take it seriously, but he's boxing non-boxers. He's boxing ex-football players, retired basketball players, retired MMA fighters, old MMA fighters, Anderson Silva Hall of Fame boxers. You know what I'm saying? And he's fighting Tyson, who's a Hall of Fame old retired boxer, 30 years his senior. And I'm like, that's cool, but when you think about it trying to be a real fight, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna watch this. This is gonna be the first fight I watch because I like Tyson so much. He's an icon. He's a boxing icon. I love boxing, so Mike Tyson is revered. But a lot of people are gonna go into this thinking that it's gonna be Iron Mike. It's not gonna be Iron Mike, bro. It's gonna be Michael. It's not even gonna be Mike Tyson. He's gonna be fighting Michael Tyson. You know what I'm talking about? He's not Mike. He's gonna be fighting Plastic Mike, not Iron Mike, Rubber Mike. You know what I'm talking about? This is not Iron Mike who, when everybody swarmed the ring and he swung a punch, it was parting like the Red Sea. You could tell with Mike Tyson's from the sky view, you could tell that it was Mike Tyson swinging because as soon as he'll swing, everybody will simultaneously, like it was coordinated and choreographed, will back up like that, trying to not to get hit by his devastating blows. Now, that's not the same Mike Tyson that Jake Paul's going to be fighting, bro. It's not. But people are that's what we're going to remember. We're going to be like, dang, he beat Iron Mike. That's what people are going to say. And on his record on paper, it's going to say Jake Paul, W, Mike Tyson, L. And that's what don't sit right with me. But like I said, if it's an exhibition, I'm cool. But when they start trying to talk about being a professional fight, I don't really like that, man. But I will say, shout out to them to getting their money. Especially I think if anybody runs exhibitions, it should be retired, older Hall of Fame fighters, if that's what they want to do. Because that way we could pay our respects and the sport could give back to them. Because they gave a lot to the sport. Boxing is a dangerous sport and people have actually died in the ring. So rest in peace, Maxim and Anaguchi, who just passed away. Anaguchi passed away like last month? No, in January he passed away. He fought in December and and he succumbed to his injuries. Then he was induced in a coma, and then they had to have emergency craniotomy, so they had to open up his skull, but they couldn't save him. He was in a coma and he passed away January. So only 23 years old, man. Young boy, man. Japanese boxer, man. He was the latest boxer to die. Yeah, Kazuki and Anaguchi, 23 years old, bro. That's crazy, man. So boxing is a dangerous sport, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm not mad at Jake Paul. He has a social media influence. He worked hard for that, or he did whatever he did to get that, garner those many followers and his social media presence and his socialite content creator. Nothing wrong with that. But like I said, just the fact that they don't know if it's a true fight yet, that's what's scary. And I do think that after he beats Mike Tyson, he's going to be on his way to, I beat a real boxer. Even though he's not a real boxer, Mike Tyson has boxed for 30 years, but he's gonna be able to say that he beat a real boxer. He's been active for 3 decades, and he's gonna call out Canelo like he's been calling out Canelo. And I feel like Canelo might actually fight him, bro, because the money's gonna be there. The money's gonna be there, bro. And y'all know I think Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. But I don't think Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, I don't think that should have been a professional fight. I think that should have been an exhibition. I think Tyson Fury and Ngannou should have been an exhibition. The only one that I'm okay with not being an exhibition is Anthony Joshua and Ngannou, because how good Ngannou looked against Tyson Fury. Everybody knows that Tyson Fury didn't look like he was in his best shape, but Tyson Fury said that he trained for 12 weeks. You know what I'm saying? 12 weeks, simple math, man. That's 3 months. He said he trained for 3 months for a non-boxer, and that should be enough. So, you know, he didn't look like he was in shape. I feel like he was capping. We all think he was capping, but if you take a man by his word, and he trained, so Ngannou looked good against Tyson Fury, so I'm okay with Anthony Joshua and Ngannou being a real boxing fight. But for the majority of it, I think that they should all be exhibitions, man. All crossovers should be exhibitions unless they prove themselves. Like you know what I'm saying, like Clarissa Shields and Holly Holmes. They proved themselves. They dominated their sport. Then they went over there. Clarissa Shields is what, 2-1. She just beat Kelsey DeSantis in MMA. You know, and she was dominating boxing. Same with Holly Holmes. Holly Holmes was a boxing champion. Then she went to MMA. She became a champion. She beat Ronda Rousey. So these are people like, they're not like Conor McGregor, you know, like Conor McGregor just switched over. He wasn't even dominating MMA. He just had a loud mouth, and, you know, he was winning some fight. He was good, but he wasn't dominating, and he went over to the boxing. So people thought he could do it. So he has a gift of gab. But Francis Ngannou, in my opinion, is more like Holly Holmes and Clarissa Shields. Like Francis Ngannou, he did box a little bit before in his background, and then he was dominating UFC or MMA, and then he switched over. So I think people compare that to Conor McGregor. I don't think so. I think he's more like, I think Francis Ngannou takes it seriously. I think he really is hurt that he lost to Anthony Joshua like that. I don't think Conor McGregor was bothered, because I don't even think Conor McGregor thought he was going to win. But I do think that Francis Ngannou thought he was going to win. And he should, because he's good, man. So I don't think Francis Ngannou should hold his head down. I know a lot of people are, it's easy to be on Francis Ngannou's head top, but people have to realize too, like, he's 0-2, but he fought two of the top 3 heavyweights right now. Tyson Fury is number 1 in my opinion. Alexander Usyk's number 2, and Anthony Joshua's number 3. He fought the number 1 and number 3 heavyweight in the world. People don't realize that Anthony Joshua is an Olympian. Literally, he's a gold medal winner in 2012 Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it was 2012. He won gold, Olympic gold. And how did he beat Ngannou? You got, like, he didn't. It wasn't like there was brawling and he was just walking through Ngannou's punches. No, he didn't even get hit, because he broke him down fundamentally. What did he do? He hit him with the jab, and Ngannou didn't know what to do with the jab. He blinded him with the jab and came with a right straight. I swear, it looked like Ngannou got shot. When he got hit, I said, "Mama,
me blood clot."
That boy looked like he got shot. Boy, like he got pushed. Looked like Joshua shot him, and that's what he did, bro. He blinded him with the jab. And bow, you know what I'm saying? If you look at that fight, he systematically and fundamentally broke him down. It wasn't like they was trading punches and Anthony Joshua just outmanned him or something like that. I'm not taking away from it. Anthony Joshua did what he's supposed to do. I applaud Anthony Joshua. But what I'm saying is, people act like Ngannou just looked so, what could I say? Ngannou didn't look, first of all, getting knocked out is embarrassing, of course. You know, getting knocked out in anything, you know, especially with millions of people watching, that's embarrassing. But outside of that embarrassment, he shouldn't hold his head down, because he fought 2 of the top 3 heavyweights. One was an Olympic gold medalist, and he lost. So he was supposed to lose, you know, but it's mostly his pride. And the other one, people argue that he won. You know, he dropped the other one. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that he should hold his head down. I think that Francis Ngannou, if he started from scratch and took it slow, I think he beats a lot of heavyweights out there. You know what I'm saying? If he comes up slowly and learns the fundamentals, it takes the time. But he's also 37 years old, so I don't think he's going to do that. You know, they paid him $30 million. He was paid by Saudi Arabia $30 million or $50 million, whatever it was, to go fight, and people believe that he could really win. You know what I'm saying? Really believe he could win, because they know that Anthony Joshua is chinny. He you know, he could get touched up and get knocked out. And if Francis Ngannou would have got to him, I think it would have been lights out. You know, so yes, Ngannou got destroyed like he was supposed to, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, he should never box again types. People just over exaggerate, man. He lost off of fundamentals. It wasn't like he just got straight. He definitely got blitzed and mollywopped. But I'm saying it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like it was a back and forth, because we saw in the back and forth with him and Tyson Fury how it went. You know, it's just Anthony Joshua was a strong puncher, and he hit him with shots, you know, that he didn't see, and he beat him fundamentally. And that's what Ngannou lacks. He lacks the fundamentals, you know. So I don't think he should really hold his head down, you know. Shoot, you got paid $30 million, you know. But it does hurt your pride, you know. Of course, you get knocked out, I can imagine. And I saw people comparing him, saying, "Oh, he's like Wilder." No, he's not like Wilder. Wilder has, you could say, Wilder's not the best boxer, you know, but Wilder has fundamentals. Wilder, you don't see Wilder just get hit like that. Like, you don't never see Wilder get hit like that. You look at Joseph Parker. You know, Joseph Parker, him just, people say, it's so fun that you can't, I don't get how people say like 2 things. It's like, on one hand, they'll say Deontay Wilder's a fraud and he's bad. But on the other hand, they say Joseph Parker is good because he beat Deontay Wilder. How does that make sense? Are those not 2 conflicting ideas? How are you good? How are you good? I never heard anybody say Joseph Parker was good until he beat a bad fighter in Wilder. So if you beat somebody that's bad, why are people considering you good? Wilder was a champion. Wilder was not the best fundamentally. He was not the best. He's not the most skilled boxer. You know what I'm saying? He picked up boxing late, but what he do? His equalizer was his athleticism and his right hand, the power in his right hand, and he maximized those abilities. But he had defense, and Ngannou's defense was bad. His hands were open. You know, he was baited by the jab a whole bunch of times. You know, he let the jab blind him and get caught with the right hand. So it's like, yes, I applaud Joseph Parker for beating Deontay Wilder, but we got to slow down a little bit because Joseph Parker's he didn't. If he was really that impressive, he should have got Deontay Wilder out of there. That was not Deontay Wilder. You know, so Deontay Wilder needs to retire. I don't think Deontay Wilder beats anybody. Not the Deontay Wilder that Joseph Parker fought. I think that Deontay Wilder loses to every heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're a contender. So that's the difference I make between, you know, I don't think Ngannou could be a champion, a world champion boxer. You know, not at this moment. So to say that he's like Wilder is kind of is very disrespectful. Yeah, like Wilder didn't have a trilogy with Fury. He had a trilogy because people were interested in the fight and it was close, especially the first one. You know, he won the title. He's a champion. He fought Bermane Stiverne twice. You know, he had a rematch with Louis King Kong Ortiz. Fought him twice. You know what I'm saying? And so to say, and he fought what Spilska. Who would call him the Polish Mike Tyson, I believe. I think he's Polish. I'm not sure. But yeah, so he fought quite a few people, man. So people. You got to slow down, man. I know we like to talk trash and stuff like that, but you got to respect these fighters. Deontay Wilder is a very good fighter, and I think Deontay Wilder, I'm not gonna lie, he doesn't beat anybody right now. I don't want to see him fight. I definitely don't want to see him fight Anthony Joshua, but I think he beats Anthony Joshua if they would have fought 10 years ago when they were supposed to. You know, Anthony Joshua didn't want to fight him, just like he didn't want to fight Tyson Fury, just like he didn't want to fight Louis King Kong Ortiz. So while I do respect Anthony Joshua, you know, he handled business. He's restored order in boxing, you know, by being in Ngannou in the fashion he did. But I don't think Anthony Joshua beats Deontay Wilder, even Deontay Wilder 3 years ago. But now, hell yeah, Anthony Joshua definitely beats Deontay Wilder. Do I think that? Now the question is, do I think Anthony Joshua beat Tyson Fury? I don't think. As much as I like to give him a chance, of course I give him a chance. But as much as I like to give him credit for for being Ngannou, it's not too much credit I could give him because, like I said, if you watch it, it literally, which is how it should, it literally looks like a boxer that's been boxing against an amateur who doesn't know how to box and know the fundamentals, how to block and stuff like that, and protect themselves. So that's what it looked like, and shout out to him for doing that. You know, that's how it's supposed to look. I give him credit for handling business, but does anybody think he's gonna do Tyson Fury like that? Like, I don't think so. I don't think he does. We already know he doesn't do Alexander Usyk like that. They fought twice, and granted, they were close fights. I think the first one was a unanimous decision, and the second one was a split decision, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even really interested in a trilogy with Usyk and AJ. So I really hope Tyson Fury wins, because I am interested in AJ and Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury wins. I'll be rooting for AJ though, but I think I'm gonna put money on it. I think I'm gonna put money on Tyson Fury. The only way I'll put money on AJ is if Tyson Fury is like overwhelmingly the favorite, which I don't think he will be. I think he'll be the favorite, but I don't think he'll be overwhelming. You know, so if Tyson Fury is like the overwhelming favorite, and then Anthony Joshua is a major underdog, then I'll put money on Anthony Joshua just in case. You know, but everything aside, being completely unbiased, I think Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight of this current era. I think Alexander Usyk is number 2, and I think Anthony Joshua is number 3. And I think Tyson Fury beats them all. But you know, Tyson Fury and Usyk, they have a rematch. So no matter how the first fight goes next month, we're gonna see it again. No, not next month. Sorry, May. We're gonna see it again. So, yeah, that's my opinion on it. I hope, like I said, I hope Tyson Fury wins. I'm more interested in Tyson Fury versus AJ than AJ versus Usyk. Yeah. So and then we have what? Then we have Pacquiao coming out of retirement to fight Conor Ben. Oh my gosh, I don't think that's a bad. You know, I don't think that's a bad test for Pacquiao. Conor Ben should be ashamed of himself because not that he's taking the fight. It's a big money fight. You know, no shame in that. I think Conor Ben should be ashamed of himself because right now I'm leaning towards Pacquiao. That's why he should be ashamed of himself. Ain't no way. You know, say a 45-year-old come out of retirement and you're active, and anybody should have any doubt that you go win. You know what I'm saying? So I should be. I don't know, but I'm leaning towards Pacquiao, man. I'm definitely leaning towards Pacquiao, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm definitely leaning towards Pacquiao, bro. We'll see though, man. I think if Pacquiao does beat Conor Ben, I don't know for sure. You know, I know he has some. It's been rumored that it's a Mayweather Pacquiao 2 exhibition match, and then I don't know if it's called off or not, but I know Pacquiao's supposed to be fighting Buakaw, the legendary Hall of Fame kickboxer, Muay Thai kickboxer. I don't know if that's canceled or not. But I think that if Pacquiao beats Conor Ben, I can foresee him fighting Tank Davis, because remember Pacquiao called out Tank and Ryan Garcia and Conor McGregor, so I can see that happening, man. I can see Tank versus Pacquiao if Tank beats Frank Martin. Speaking of Tank versus Frank, man, I also think that's a good fight. It's so funny, the hypocrisy of people people being hypocritical, man. It's like they have Pacquiao. I mean, they're mad at Gervonta Davis said, "Oh, he only fights flat-footed fighters, particularly he only fights Hispanic fighters." Like, there's any shame in that? Like, there's good fighters of every culture, creed, and demographic, But they're saying the flat-footed Mexican style fighting, the pressure fighter, you know what I'm saying? But I think Hector Garcia was good. That's the thing. People just can't be objective, man. It's like, you could like Haney, you could like Tank, or dislike Haney, dislike Tank. I don't mean you got to be dishonest. You know what I'm saying? Tank has some good opponents. Haney has some good opponents. And it's funny that the Haney people always say that Tank has terrible opponents, but then Haney fought Gamboa after Tank fought Gamboa. They have a common opponent. Now they're about to have a common opponent, Ryan Garcia. Once again, Haney's fighting Ryan Garcia after Tank. So and then there's been rumor that Haney, after he beats Ryan Garcia, he wants to fight Mario Barrios. That's another fighter that Tank fought. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, y'all, it's funny that they discredit Tank's resume, but a lot of Devin Haney's resume is comprised of people that Tank fought, including the people that he has fought, who he's going to fight, and who he wants to fight. So it's like, it's crazy. But Leo Santa Cruz is one of my favorite fighters, man, and Tank fought him. Excuse me. Tank fought Hector Garcia, Leo Santa Cruz, Ryan Garcia. I don't think Ryan Garcia is the best, but I like Ryan Garcia. I think, but as far as skill goes, he's not a top-notch fighter, but he fought him. Granted, people say it was catchweight, whatever, 130, whatever they fought, 136 or whatever. Who else he fought? Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Rolly Romero's not that great, but he's a decent fighter. He fought him too. He was a bigger guy. So people talk crazy, man. I remember he get the title from Jose Pedraza. You know what he is. Jose Pedraza just now lost to Keyshawn Davis. So Tank fought good fighters, but now Frank Martin. Now people say they want to fight a black slick fighter. Now he's fighting a black slick fighter, and Frank the Ghost Martin, who's ranked on every single, on WBC, WBO, WBA, IBF. He's ranked on all of them. According to boxing scene, he's ranked on all of them in the top 10. Every single one. He's ranked, I want to say, even in the highest, I think he's the top 4. I think the lowest is number 9. I want to say IBF has him ranked number 9, but other than it's like 4, 2, and 6, if I'm not mistaken. So he's ranked high, but now people have a problem with Frank Martin. It's like people just have a problem with everything, bro. I think Frank Martin's a good test. I think he's a very dangerous threat. He's a real threat. I think he's a good fighter, undefeated prospect. I don't want to say prospect, but undefeated fighter. So it's gonna be a good test for Tank. I think Tank wins, but I'm going with Tank against most people. So I just think that I think this is a good fight, man. I think this is a good fight, bro. We're gonna see it. We're gonna see. I think who did he beat? He beat Michael Rivera. Michael Rivera was. I remember watching that fight. I believe he's from the Dominican Republic. Michael Rivera. That was a good fight. Frank Martin beat him. Frank Martin also beat. I can remember the last guy. That joke was hard to pronounce. The last person he fought. But that was a good fight too. And so I think it's a good fight, man. I think Tank gonna have to bring it. I think he's gonna have to show another aspect of his game. Gonna have to box a little more. Everybody's enamored and infatuated with the knockout power that Tank has, rightfully so. That's what makes him box office. But Tank can box too, and I think Gervonta or Abdul Wahid, he's gonna be able to show that, and demonstrate that. So I think Tank versus Frank's a good fight. I think Bud versus Eubanks is another good fight, and I think Canelo versus Munguia is a good fight. Now, is Canelo Munguia the same as Canelo Benavidez? No, because that's the best fight for Canelo. Is a Bud and Eubanks as good as Bud and Boots? No, because Boots, we think right now, is the best fight for. Well, I think it's the second best fight. I think Canelo's the best fight, and then for Bud. But then I think Boots is the second best fight for Bud. But you know what I'm saying? He's fighting Eubanks with a purpose to eventually move up and strengthen this campaign for Canelo. Fighting him at 160. So I think that's a good fight. He's going up 2 weight classes if the rumors are correct, or what's reported is correct. So I think that's a good fight. And then I think Only one, you know, and then who else is on my mind? I think Frank versus Tank's another good fight. You know what I'm saying? I think stylistically it makes a good fight, and they have some history, some sparring history. You know what I'm saying, to strengthen the build up. I think people just, when you don't get with the exact fight that you want to see, people want to call it, oh, ducking, or somebody's scared, because saying somebody's ducking is implying that they're scared. And these men, I don't think they're scared of. I don't think boxers are scared of too many people, man. They're fighters, and you know what I'm saying. So, but it's like some people act like spoiled children. If they don't get what they want, they get mad. Now, I do want to see those fights, though. You know, it is what it is. But you know, I just always think it's funny that people will also go to the extreme and say, oh, could you imagine if LeBron didn't go against Giannis or something like that? Well, sometimes those matchups don't happen either. So it's like people just tell half the story. That I think that correlation, that analogy is terrible, because if you those of you that watch basketball, if you think a couple years back, you know, rest in peace Kobe Bryant, you know, rest in peace Kobe, man, the Black Mamba. But if you remember years back, I know Lenny remember this. You watch basketball, but I can't remember what years it was. But you don't remember the Kobe doll commercials, the Kobe and LeBron doll commercials, and then the Kobe was like eating the cookies, and then he said he had the rings or something like that. He said about the cookies, LeBron. Remember that stuff? So they were setting up a matchup between LeBron and Kobe in the finals. We never got to see LeBron and Kobe in the finals. You know why? Because of the Magic upset LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it was the Magic, Dwight Howard versus Kobe and the Lakers. We never got to see, as much as everybody wants to see, we never got to see playoff Kobe versus playoff LeBron. So we don't always see the matches we want. It's just that, you know, we think that with boxing, we think is people being more willing to avoid each other. But I mean, there's more contract negotiations, and sometimes things don't line up. You know what I'm saying? It's not just Bud and Boots have to come to agreement. Their teams have to come to agreement. Their managers, their promotional companies. You know what I'm saying? The networks, the sanctioning bodies they have. So there's more things. More bureaucratic bullcrap, but it is what it is, you know. So, and I think for the most part, as my experience with boxing, we might not get it right exactly now, you know what I'm saying, when we want it, but you eventually get it, you know. And I think people overhype things being later than we want. Like Pacquiao and Floyd happened later than we want. We would have liked to see that a little earlier, even though I don't think the result changed. I think the result's the same. And people tend to blame Floyd for that. But I don't know if you remember, but, you know, and I'm not knocking Pacquiao. I like Pacquiao too, but it is what it is. You know, Pacquiao didn't want to take the test. He didn't want to take the blood work. He said it was against his religion and stuff like that, which might be. That don't mean he's lying. But I think Floyd had a right to be skeptical, because around that time, guess who was cheating? Antonio Margarito. You know what I'm saying? That's when he went and bludgeoned freaking Miguel Cotto. And what happened after they found evidence, concrete evidence that he was cheating? What did they do? Did they expunge his loss? No. Miguel Cotto to this day still has that loss on his record. You see what I'm saying? So Margarito still beat Cotto, even though we know he was cheating. He still beat Cotto. He even got suspended afterwards for another fight for cheating and for the use of that plaster of Paris, but they still didn't take off that L off Cotto's record. And Cotto came back and beat him. But I'm saying, so you don't know I don't think Pacquiao was cheating ever. But, you know, I'm not the one getting in the ring getting punched by Pacquiao either. So if Floyd wanted that to happen, then that was another hold up in the fights too. So I'm not saying it's just Floyd's not to blame. But I'm also not saying that Pacquiao could be absolved of blame either. You know, so it is what it is. And then with Triple G, people say that Canelo fought Triple G a little later, but once again, with another history lesson, I do think Canelo should have fought Triple G. And I also used to think that Canelo was ducking Triple G at first. But then, you know, as I was watching and, you know, I paid attention more, it's like Canelo fought. Triple G didn't get big until 2015, 2016. You know, he was kind of like, he wasn't a household name. Boxing purists and pugilist enthusiasts like me, we knew him. But he wasn't a household name, wasn't bringing in money like that, you know. So people didn't really have a reason to fight him. And around that time, when he finally did get big, you know, Triple G, people have to tell the whole story. Triple G started boxing late. So he was always an older fighter. I'm not saying Canelo didn't wait him out a year or two, but he was already an older fighter. One like he was a spring chick. He was already an older fighter by the time he got big. Triple G didn't get big to the end of 2015, the beginning of 2016. And guess who Canelo fought then? He fought, what's his name? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and it was all Mexican affair, just like Munguia and Canelo is. You know, that's always going to be big for boxing. It's going to bring a lot of money, and that was for who was going to inherit the throne of being that guy, that Mexican fighter. You know what I'm saying? Being the Mexican king as far as boxing goes. And Canelo fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and beat him. And then guess who he fought after that? Triple G in 2017, the following year. So at most you could say Canelo waited out Triple G is a year. I mean, come on, bro. How much you gonna do? How much you gonna diminish in a year? Now it can't happen. You know, people could diminish overnight and stuff like that. But to blame that on, I don't know, man. I think it's part of the business. I do think he waited out a little longer than he should have. But you know, it wasn't like he waited 5 years or something. When people say that he stalled out Triple G, it's like, bro, he didn't stall him out that long. At most, he could have stalled him out was a year. You know what I'm saying? If you really go look at the timeline and stuff like that. So, you know, and then he fought him 3 times, you know. So, but people would discredit him, say, oh, it was an old Triple G. You know, it's funny that people say Triple G is old, but no one says that Parker fought an old Wilder. Wilder was 38. Triple G was younger than Wilder was when he fought Canelo. With the first and the second fight, Triple G wasn't 38. You know what I'm saying? Wilder was 38 with 50 fights when he lost to Parker. No one says, I haven't heard anybody say, besides me, say that Wilder was old and he looked old and he looked like a shell of himself. So it's just like people pick and choose. You know, I'm not saying you can't knock Canelo. Nobody's perfect and nobody's untouchable and nobody is blameless. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's above being blamed if it's true. But at the same time, you gotta analyze the whole thing. You feel me? So but yeah, man, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Bud and Eubanks, man. I'm not mad at that at all. Like I said, he's moving up to 160. If he indeed moves up to 160, if he fights Eubanks at anything lower than 154, I think I will say that's whack. But I don't think so. I think he's fighting him at 160. You know, if he fights him at, I'll say if they do a catch rate like 155, 157, I'm cool with that too. But if they go to 154 or lower, I think that's whack. But if he fights him at 160, you know what I'm saying? I would say I'll say 157 or above. I'm cool with Bud fighting Eubanks, man. Going up to test himself, and then he can go ahead and try to get a fight with Canelo and strengthen that bid. You know, which I don't know who Canelo gonna fight, if Canelo is gonna fight him. You know, I think he's gonna. I really think Canelo's gonna fight Munguia, and then obviously, and then Berlanga. Speaking of Berlanga, though, Berlanga and Danny Jacobs are acting like they're fighting, man. What y'all think about that fight? I think that Edgar Berlanga and Danny Jacobs is a good fight. I know Danny Jacobs, I thought he was retired, but apparently not. And I think this is a good test for Berlanga. I don't know who wins that, man. I honestly don't know who wins that. I could see Danny Jacobs upsetting the young bull in Berlanga. But I could also see Berlanga, you know, catching Jacobs and ending it too. Kind of like that one guy that knocked him out early in his career. Was it Dimitri Pirog or something like that? But, you know, I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see if that actually comes into fruition. I do think that Berlanga needs to step up his opposition. I think this is not the biggest step, but it is a little step. I think Danny Jacobs is better than, you know, Padraig McCrory, the Irishman that he just knocked out. And then plus Danny Jacobs, you know, he's a little older, and you know, he's been inactive. So I think it's a good test for him. And he has he fought Canelo too. I think this would be a good test for Berlanga. You know, I still think that they're playing a little safe, but it's still a little better than what Berlanga's been doing. And if he performs very well, man, this could be good for him, man. I think Berlanga, Danny Jacobs, is he out of New York? Excuse me, I think he's from New York too. So I think Berlanga's from New York too. Yeah, they both are New York. Okay, yeah, thank you, Julian. Yeah, that was thank you, Julian. Julian Tejeda, what's good? Yeah, they are both from New York. Okay, I was right about that. I was about to look it up. Appreciate you letting me know. Yeah, I think that. So you think I think that's a good fight, man. I'm not mad at that, man. I think sometimes we get too bad. I'm not saying that some fights are trash. Like, you know what I'm saying, like Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. The fact that they're thinking about that being a professional sanctioned fight, I think that's trash.
Bullshit! Bullshit!
Yeah, I think that's bullshit. But I don't think every fight isn't BS, bro. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, we can't always get the fights that we want at that time. You know, there's still got some stuff to go on. And I know some people will say, "Oh, I'll be an apologist for these people." No, I'm not. I'm just being honest and being real, you know. So Danny Jacobs versus Edgar Berlanga would be a good one, man. If I had to put money on it right now today, I lean towards Berlanga. But I'm not sure. Danny Jacobs is he's a good fighter, man. You know, shout out to Danny Jacobs, man. I think what did he overcome? He overcame cancer, right? Or something like that too, man. That guy's a warrior, man. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's a 50-50 fight, man. And like you say, you're both from New York, and I think a lot of people will complain about it, but I think it's a step up for Berlanga. It's not the biggest step up, but it's still still on the up and up, man. I don't mind that. And then, but one thing I will say about Berlanga though, bro, Berlanga is funny, man. What do you think the best matchup at 140? Ooh. Berlanga is funny because Berlanga was hollering about being the mandatory for Canelo, and then when the what was it, WBA chair came out and said, "No, you're the mandatory for David Morrell." You ain't hear Berlanga say nothing else about being the mandatory. That joke was funny, bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Berlanga, you kind of look a little. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Berlanga.
Nigga, you's a bitch.
Berlanga might be, hey, he might be ducking. He was hollering about being a mandatory for Canelo. Then he found out he was a mandatory for David Morrell. You ain't hear him saying nothing about exercising his mandatory rights, bro. That joke is funny, though. Now you talk about fighting Danny Jacobs. Yo, Berlanga funny, man. But what do I think about the best matchup at 140? I think the best matchup at 140, ooh. My dream matchup at 140 right now today, if I could pick two people to fight, it got to be Tank and Haney, man. It has to be Tank and Haney, bro. My second one would probably be, I ain't gonna lie, all of them involve Tank, bro. It might be Tank and Teofimo. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, I'd rather see Teofimo and Haney more than Tank and Teofimo. I want to see Tank and Haney, number one. Number two, I want to see, ooh, that's tough, man. Because do I want to see Tank and Shakur? I want to see Tank and Shakur a lot, too. I just feel like just because I can't trust Shakur, I feel like I like Shakur. His skills are undeniable. But sometimes, man, he can make a fight boring, man. You know, and I don't know. So I think from exciting step, I want to see Tank and Haney, number one. Number two, I want to see Tank and Haney and Teofimo, I think would be good. And then probably number three, I want to see Teofimo and Tank. Or maybe Teofimo and Matias. Ooh, maybe Devin Haney and Matias too. I don't know, man. Hey, that's what the 140 is exciting, man. You got Tank, you got Subra Matias, you got Teofimo, you got Shakur, you got Devin Haney, you got Ryan Garcia. People can talk shit about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, man, he's a warrior, man. He will fight. I think Ryan Garcia is clearly the worst skill-wise out of those six. But as far as heart and as far as warrior spirit and fighting spirit, he's the only one that fought Tank. He's the only one that's about to fight Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? None of them have fought each other except for Ryan Garcia. He's about to fight two of them. You know, so he don't want that smoke with Burrell. Tank is 135. You're right. Tank is 135. You're right. But if Tank goes to 140, you're right. So take out Tank then. So we'll take out Tank and we'll take out Shakur. So if we're just doing bona fide 140s, let's just do bona fide 140. So we're gonna do Ryan Garcia, Subriel Matias, Devin Haney, Teofimo, and we're gonna take out Shakur. We're gonna take out Tank because Shakur, he could go between 135, 140, even 130, and then Tank is 135. We've seen him at 140 before against Barrios, but he said he doesn't want to campaign at 140. So you're right. So we'll go. So out of those four, who else is at 140? I like Liam Power out of Australia, but he's not. He's still on the up and up. Yeah, I would say if we just gonna say those four, I would say Devin Haney and Teofimo. I want to see that one the most. Yeah, he don't want no smoke with David Morrell. Yeah, that boy out of Cuba, he's a monster, man. Edgar Berlanga don't want no smoke with 140. I mean with David Morrell. David Morrell only has 10 fights though, so you know it's kind of like he's easily avoided because you he doesn't deserve it. He only has 10 fights. I know. Who else we have? Yeah, we got some hitters, man. We got some hitters at 140, man. Who else? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody at 140 too. What's Lomachenko and Kambosos? They fighting at 135 or they fighting at 140? I know they about to fight. I'm not sure if they're fighting at 140 or 135. I think they're fighting at 135. I'm not certain. I know their fight is coming up. I think they're fighting at one. They might be fighting at 140. I'm not sure. But yeah, I would say who I want to see at 140 got to be Loma versus Kimbo is at 135. Okay, I want to see at 140. I want to see Devin Haney and Teofimo the most. Yeah. I usually just lump them all together. That 135, 140, I usually just lump them all together, man. The hell yeah, but I want to see. I would like to see. What's the name? Devin Haney and Teofimo, man. I know Teofimo didn't look the best cutting off that ring against Jermaine Ortiz, you know, but I still think you know, Jermaine Ortiz. I blame Teofimo, but I also blame Jermaine Ortiz. I blame them both equally because Jermaine Ortiz wasn't trying to engage, man. I think who else we have at 140? We have what? Sandor Martin. Yo, it was good. Just chill with this sword. Oh man, sorry about that, Zar. I hope you feel better, man. Hope you feel better, brother. I know Esau Cruz 135, 140. Raleigh Romero 135, 140. What was that? Sandor Martin. I kind of feel like Sandor Martin's kind of overrated. I think he got a lot of love from doing good against Teofimo, but I kind of put like Sandor Martin and Arnold Barbosa Jr. in like the same boat. Like kind of both predictable. I think Sandor Martin's better than Arnold Barbosa. So this is mostly for Arnold Barbosa Jr. I think Arnold Barbosa just comes forward, very predictable. You know, he's a tough guy, but I think he's kind of overrated. I'm trying to think who else at 140. You got Sandor Martin. What's Jose Ramirez. He did beat Mikey Garcia, but when did he beat Mikey Garcia? You know what I'm saying? I think, I'm not gonna lie, Mikey Garcia I like Mikey Garcia a lot, man. But after no disrespect to Sandor Martin, but let's be honest. After Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying, Mikey Garcia wins the same. I'm not gonna lie, I hated that Brian Garcia. I hated that Mikey Garcia fought Errol Spence, because to me that said that if he wins, he was like, yes, you know what I'm saying, that's cool. It's gonna be a hell of a mark on his resume. But if he loses, he was like, man, I'm about to retire soon. That's just the vibes I got from that fight. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like when Kell Brook fought Triple G. It's like, Kell Brook, well, why are you going to fight Triple G, man? He's too big for you, bro. But I feel like it was like, okay, I'm gonna just go try for greatness before I retire. You know, so but yeah, so Sandor Martin did beat Mike Garcia, who I have a lot of respect for. I think Mike Garcia was a beast, man. I love Mike Garcia. But I felt like it was like after Errol Spence, you know, no disrespect to anybody, to Sandor Martin, but it's like, man, it's not really Mikey Garcia, man. He fought Mike Garcia. He ain't fight Mikey. it's like Jake Paul. It's not as bad as Jake Paul. I'm reaching here, but it's like Jake Paul, man. Like Jake Paul about to fight Mike Tyson on paper, but he about to fight Michael Tyson. He not about to fight Iron Mike. He about to fight Rubber Mike, Plastic Mike. That's not Mike Tyson. That's not Iron Mike, man. So Sandor Martin fought Michael Garcia. He ain't fight Mikey Garcia, bro. he fought Michael Garcia, bro. Come on, man. Miguel Garcia. He fought Miguel Garcia. He ain't fight Mikey Garcia, man. So who else we got at 140 though? I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm missing people. Of course we got Regis Prograis. You know, Devin Haney beat. Oh, Josh Taylor. I know Josh Taylor already beat Devin Haney. I'm interested in Josh. Who's he fighting? Jack Catterall? I think that's gonna be a good fight. That's a rematch. I'm going with Josh Taylor, but man, I still haven't decided who I'm gonna put money on, man. I forgot about Josh Taylor. Yeah, don't disrespect it. I like Josh Taylor a lot. He should beat Jack Catterall, but I'm not sure, man. I'm not convinced. I think it's gonna be a tough fight. Richardson Hitchens. I like Richardson Hitchens, but he's young, so I'm not really like too hyped to see him yet. You know, he's still up and coming. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with Devin Haney and Teofimo. Who do you want to see the most? I'm gonna stick with Devin Haney and Teofimo. At 140, I want to see Devin Haney and Teofimo the most. I'm trying to think who else. Old man Barroso. Ishmael Barroso. Huh? I forgot about him. Raleigh Romero said that old man hit hard. I forgot about old man Barroso, man. That's funny as hell, bro. You can't forget about old man Barroso, what he did to Davey O'Harry's. Oh my gosh, he dropped the bombs on him. Oh my gosh, bro. He knocked David O'Harry. Said that he was so messed up. He said he ain't get no sleep the night before. He got some sleep for sure. He got some sleep that day. He got some sleep during that fight, boy. Ismael Barroso knocked him clean out. That boy knocked his block off, boy. Knocked his freaking block off, boy.
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Give me my goddamn money.
Complained about the lights. And the oxygen in the hotel. I want to see Haiti versus Teo. Yeah, that'd be a good. I think that's the best one. Like I said, Teofimo didn't do himself any favors, but like I said, Jermaine Ortiz, man, I like Gervonta Ortiz as well, but you gotta call it what it is. Like people say, oh, he was outboxing him. No, he outran Teofimo. He did not outbox. He didn't box at all. Boxing is a form of fighting. In order to fight, boxing is a fighting style under the umbrella of fighting. You cannot fight without engaging. Gervonta Ortiz did not want to engage. So people can say as much as, oh, he was making Teofimo miss. Yeah, he was also making himself miss too because he couldn't even counterpunch. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is what you make somebody miss. You counterpunch. You know what I'm saying? That's what Floyd did. You know, Floyd did the fight. You never see Floyd on his bike like that. I hate when people say that Gervonta Ortiz and Shakur Stevenson were fighting like Floyd. No, the fuck they were not. Floyd stayed in the pocket. He got his head movement, just like Canelo. You know, Canelo learned from Floyd. After Canelo fought Floyd, you see Canelo with the head movement, which is A1. You know what I'm saying? He had his head move. He had his Philly shell defense. You know what I'm saying? He evaded like that, stood in the pocket, counterpunch. Man, Gervonta Ortiz was so far out of position. By the time he made Teofimo miss, he also was out of range himself because he couldn't counterattack because he was on so much on his bike. So, you know, he did not engage, man. That was terrible, bro. He tried to finesse his way to a victory. That was a terrible showing of boxing, man. And that just really made me mad because I like Gervonta Ortiz up until that point, too. I thought that was shameful, man. And shame on Teofimo as well. I'm not giving Teofimo any love either. Teofimo, he looked bad because him being a former Olympian, how the hell do you not know how to cut off the ring, man? That's basic fundamentals, man. You got to learn to cut off the ring better, but at the same time, still, it's not a race. You shouldn't be in there having to chase somebody down full speed or having to bait somebody in and tell them to come on just to engage in a fight. So, yeah, I'm adamant about that. I don't know how people have Gervonta Ortiz beating Teofimo. You know, it was a boring fight. It's a terrible fight, but I'm sorry. I got to go with the person who actually wanted to fight, and only one of those two wanted to fight, and that was Teofimo. I'm not saying that you got to go in there reckless abandon and fight somebody's fight, but that was not outboxing. That was outrunning, man. Gervonta Ortiz outran Teofimo, man. So, yeah, the right person won, in my opinion. The right person won, even though it was a terrible fight. I never want to see that shit again. I'm not going to lie. Gervonta Ortiz hurt himself because the only way he would have helped this stock is if he won. And the fact that he lost and he put on a showing like that, nobody's going to want to see Gervonta Ortiz fight again. And you got to remember, that's what separates boxing. That's what makes boxing a sport and basketball a sport. It's not just playing. It's also entertainment. It's sports entertainment. You know what I'm saying? People want to be entertained. You can put on a masterful class of boxing like Floyd Mayweather, even like Vasily Lomachenko make people miss. You know what I'm saying? Like Canelo make people miss and stuff like that and still be entertaining. That shit was not entertaining. Oh my gosh. That was terrible, bro. That was a bunch of bullshit. Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit, 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 bullshit. That shit was terrible, man. Oh, man. Yeah, Haney and Teo for sure. I think that's the best fight at 140, yeah. I'm trying to think who else. That's why Teofimo, man. You know, Teofimo made some... Well, like, ooh. Teofimo, he be looking good. He be hot and cold like Katy Perry, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know, he looked good against Vasily Lomachenko, looked good against Josh Taylor, but he looks bad against Sandor. I think that's one thing too. I will say, as much as I said that I'm not impressed with Sandor Martin like that, and I'm not impressed with some people like that, but I will give him credit. You know, Sandor Martin. I think sometimes people give Teofimo too much credit. Like at some point, we got to know this who Teofimo is. He's just an inconsistent fighter. You know, and Sandor Martin didn't give him what he thought he was going to get. You know, he didn't give him what he wanted. And so I think sometimes when people say that, oh, it wasn't Teofimo at his best, it kind of discredits his opposition. You know, I think that was the best. You know, they say, oh, when Kambosos beat him, it wasn't Teofimo at his best. Oh, what Sandor Martin has a close fight with him. It's not Teofimo at his best. When he goes against Gervonta Ortiz, because Gervonta Ortiz wasn't trying to fight, which I agree with, but we can't always give excuses. You know what I'm saying? At some point you gotta show up, man. You gotta show up and show out. And I think it's just that some people are inconsistent. I mean, look at other sports. It's like J.R. Smith. If J.R. Smith was always at his peak, you know, if J.R. Smith was always peak J.R. Smith, he would be an MVP conversation. But he's not, because sometimes he's hot, sometimes he's cold. And I think that's what Teofimo is. Sometimes he's hot, sometimes he's cold. I know it's hard to imagine with boxing, but it is what it is, man. So some people, you got it. That's one thing I would say. Devin Haney's very consistent. I'm not a big David Haney fan. You know, I think he's very shaky, but he's a consummate professional, man. You know, I think they be flagging a lot, and I don't like that they be acting like they want to fight people, and they know they damn sure don't want to fight them. You know, and they be somewhat opportunists, but I mean that's what boxing is sometimes, is to a certain extent. It's about the business part of it too, but you know, so Devin Haney gets on my nerves, but I cannot say skill wise he's definitely on the right path, and he's definitely one of the top fighters. Definitely pound for pound worthy, and he's definitely a consummate professional. Like, you know, he's gonna bring his A game. You know, he's gonna be on point. You know, he's gonna put in the work. So you got to respect him for that. And shout out to Bill Haney for raising raising the son of that pedigree. You know what I'm saying? Gotta respect it. And Bill Haney funny too. Bill Haney get on my nerves too, but that dude there funny. He is funny, boy. I'll tell you that. Well, shoot, yeah, man. That's all I want to talk about, man. I think I pretty much talked about everything I want to get off my chest to see us. You feel me? Got everything I wanted to get off my chest. Unless anybody wants to join the Discord and talk to me. Anybody wants to join the Discord and talk to me, say something they want to get off the chest, you are welcome. If not, I'm about to go ahead and call it soon, man. Go ahead and call it a night. I'm trying to think what other fights we could talk about, man. Yeah, 140. I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you, Julian. It's definitely T.O. and Haney. That'd be my number one. That'll be on my wish list for 140, for sure. Shoot, why are you playing? No, I do want to see Nakatani though, man. I want to see Junto Nakatani. I'm not gonna lie. To be that might be my number one must-see fighter right now. Junto Nakatani, man. That guy's nice, man. What he did to Alessandro Santiago. I want to see him fight Takuma anyway. And then, because I think he'll beat Takuma anyway. And then I want to see Naoya Inoue come and try to avenge his brother type stuff. I think that'd be a great storyline. Junto Nakatani versus Naoya Inoue. And I'm not going to lie, man. I don't know who will win that one, man. Junto Nakatani, that guy's nice, bro. That guy's nice, bro. Naoya Inoue's a beast, though. So that'd be a good fight. And then I want to eventually see, like, Bruce Shushu Carrington versus, I know he's a featherweight. He's above Nakatani right now. But, I mean... now anyway, but I think they could make it like a, you know, once Bruce Shushu character gets, I mean, he only has 11 fights too, so he has to, you know what I'm saying, get his experience up and get some more fights in. And but I would like to see him versus now anyway as well, like eventually. I think that'd be good. And featherweight's looking good too. Ray Ford just winning, even though he said he wants to move up. And I think Ray Ford versus Oshiki Foster, that's a good fight. You know, and then what's the name? Who just said they moved up too? Roman Gonzalez, Chocolatito just said he moved up. He moved up, and man, I think he better stay clear of Junto Nakatani though. But yeah, and there's some people that he should avoid, like Takuma Inoue. It's gonna be tougher. It's gonna be tough. I think Emmanuel Rodriguez is out there too, so I think Chocolatito is gonna be tough for him, man, to move up. But those lighter divisions have some good fighters down there, man. You know what I'm saying? So. Ain't all about the big guys. But the next fight that we have coming up is what? This weekend we have William Zepeda versus Maxie Hughes. I fully expect Zepeda to knock out Maxie Hughes. I'll be shocked if that goes a distance. That's this Friday. I'm looking forward to. I mean, not Friday. Sorry, the 16th, which is a Saturday. I'm looking forward to that though. I'm always looking forward to the boxing. So that's the next fight right there. Zepeda versus Maxie Hughes. I don't know who's on the undercard. I gotta look up to see who all on the undercard. Hopefully they have some good undercards. But shoot, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. Appreciate y'all rocking me as always, man. Love y'all for real. Remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we are nothing. So, man, keep God first, and yeah, man, tell somebody that you love them. You know, don't forget to do that. You never know what days are last, and you got to appreciate that. Make sure you're doing something that you love, and always putting God first if that's what you believe in. You choose to believe in that. That's what I believe in. So, do your thing, man. Live your life and be happy. You feel me? Love y'all. We are out. I can't find my outro. I always freaking a hard time finding my outro. I don't know why either. But I love y'all. We out. God bless. Peace.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.